Hi Avani, how are you? It's Margaret here with your video lesson. Hope you're doing great. And let's start off with a warm-up. I wonder, because I think last week we were just jumping into our pieces, I wonder if you do warm-up with scales. E major, for instance. E major has 4 sharps. And the fingering is just like the C major scale. So just to run through, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp are our 4 sharps. So thumb on E. 1, 2, 3, thumb under on A, B, C, D sharp, E. Make sure you watch that your elbow does some nice lifted, rounded motions. It really does carry the hand, the arm forward. You see, when I'm coming down, my elbow is leading. So it's kind of like at a diagonal. When I'm going up, it's a little bit of a different motion. When we're going up, because of the way that our body is configured, the upwards motion is going to be different than the downwards. The downwards looks a lot like a violinist bowing, but upwards is a little bit more like waves forward, waves with your arm. So as you can hear, when my arm is not doing anything to guide my fingers, the sound is very choppy. But activating the arm really does produce such a completely different result. So just experiment with this, 1 octave, okay, and see how fluid your scale is. See how quickly you can do it without any issues, without any hesitations, and then take it to 2. And see, make sure it has a nice line, a nice arch. You start piano crescendo towards the middle, decrescendo, and your left hand. Same thing, except in reverse. Curiously, the motion for the left hand is like that bowing, just like going down for the right hand was. The left hand is also, and coming down the scale is more the wave. So really, when we think about, I like to think of it like that one swimming stroke, right? Where you're just kind of like, I don't even know what you call that. Is it butterfly? I don't even know, but it's, I'll have to ask my daughter. She's a swimmer. I am not. But anyway, you go forward, and there's this kind of feeling of, like if you were to hug somebody, it would be that motion. And curiously, that's, the motion we have when we come inside, towards the inside of our body, and when we come out, it's different. Okay? So think about that, because like a tree, it's always, we have to think about the root of the tree. So our form is the root of everything, and your arm is the root that carries. The arms, are maybe a better description is, the fingers are led by the arm, the same way that the branch is supported by the trunk of the tree. So it's really about providing energy and support for our fingers, which are extremely insufficient in power to do the job. Okay, let's start with our sonata in F major, because I don't think we had a chance to do this much last time, and it's very good practice for this technique. The first passage that I just played has to be a feeling of motion going towards the C. Watch the arm. Scale down. So there are a lot of elements here. There is a feeling of arpeggio. Right, there's a feeling of scale. And then there's a feeling of stopping and halting on 2 notes, repeating 2 notes. 2 notes in a row, repeated, can never be, because that Really stops the motion. So make sure you pull towards that second repeated note. Moving. You know, so the whole thing is about creating a line, a beautiful line. Okay. The left hand, on the other hand, has to be very sensitive to the right hand. It's just a support. It's not anything that's going to be loud and taking over. It's just simply, you know, an accessory. It's a background. I know I'm playing it a bit faster than maybe you're able to play at this point, but that's, you know, just a vision of it in a faster speed. Okay, after the double bar line, here we have 3 notes in a row. Always do something. Either crescendo towards the third one, or crescendo towards the middle and decrescendo towards the end. Okay, or another possibility is just decrescendoing from the first note. But what is not a possibility is 3 times the same. For obvious reasons, okay? So you choose 3, do the same move, 3 again. So it's nice to know what the repeated notes are. The first time it's B flat, then it's E, and then it's G. Okay. Always know and react to those different notes because they're not going to be getting all the same amount of emphasis, right? And it's a curious thing to outline where the composer is going, from the B flat to the E to the G. This is a longer passage than we are actually predicting. Right? So he's sort of teasing us a little bit there. We're not used to having that. It's a little bit of a surprise. So really pull through that. Then we continue. Now, in this piece, it's important to create this sense of motion, which you can only do when you count. So make sure it's in 4 times. So 2 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, or in 4 you can count it either way. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. So notice that when the left hand comes in, after the bar line, the 16 notes, definitely use a rotation kind of motion there because you want that to be as effortless and as controlled sounding as possible. Again, for this entire piece, the left hand is really providing support, so don't let it run away from you. And when we get to the very ending, make sure you do a slight ritardando before the end because we need to kind of set up the ending. If we don't do anything, it's abrupt, and we don't want anything like that, okay? So we're going to focus on this piece because I think it's the newest one and the one we've spent the least time on. So we'll hear that one on Friday when you come, okay? So enjoy the rest of your week, and see you soon, Avani. Bye.